Hello, and welcome back to something a little different. Today I'm feeling a little fancy. I've got a great idea in mind for a new Magic the Gathering deck. And, we're gonna put it together. That sounds weird. Anyway, I've got a great idea for a commander that I found that I really like to put in a deck. Really interesting idea. I've done a bit of research, so I've got a handful of pre-selected cards that I like to put in the deck, and things that would definitely make the deck better. So if you give me a minute to get everything here organized on my other screen. I've got good synergies, good combos. And, let's just jump right into it. So I've been playing Magic the Gathering for, at least since middle school. My very first deck ever, believe it or not, was, a blue-black... It was mostly a zombie deck, and that was way back in Standard. Well, when Standard was more common. And that was fun for... Actually, no, I had a deck before that. Before that, I had goblins. I totally forgot about the goblins. Sorry, I got moderately distracted there for a moment. So yeah, my first real deck was Goblins way back in the day. When I first got started in Magic the Gathering. And, of course, we were kids, we barely knew the rules. Half the time we didn't even play with mana, because you couldn't get the land cards. You should get, like, maybe one out of a pack. So we just ignored the concept entirely. For a while. Eventually learned how to play the right way. And, once upon a time, I used a tournament for it. That's a very long time ago. My favorite, one of my favorite tournament decks... Actually, I'll show you the decks I have built right now. One of my favorite tournament decks was, Rats. Mono Black Rats. And now, I've recently, a couple weeks ago, I built this bad boy for Commander, and this deck absolutely wrecks. This is my Plague deck. The Commander is Marrowgnar. It's simple. All rats have fear. Tap, sack a rat, and create X 1/1 black rat creature tokens where X is the number of rats you control. Now he has a really busted synergy with the artifact Thornbite's Staff. Yeah, you equip it to him for 4, play it for 2. Equip the creature has 2 tap. The creature deals 1 damage to target creature or player. And whenever a creature is put into the graveyard from play, untap this creature, being the creature it's equipped to. So Marrowgnar, assuming you have 2 other rats on the field, you tap him, sack one of the 2 rats. You summon 2 rat tokens because you have 2 rats. The staff automatically untaps him. You tap one of those rats. You tap him again. Sack one of those rat tokens. Now you've got 3 rats. Keep doing that ad infinitum until you have exactly as many rat tokens as you want. And GG's. And, yes, you're reading that correctly. There are, in fact, 33 copies of Rat Colony in this deck. And God, does it go off. Yeah, this is a real fun one I came up with. to replace my old standard deck with the more updated commander setup. All my decks I have in here are commander, and yep, I went with the Assassin's Creed deck a while ago. That one's fun. I have tweaked this a little bit since I created this. Vampire Lord with Asterion as my lead. That deck's got so many insta-wins. Hope, my Mono White Angels, the Goodest Boy, my Fallout set, Barbarian's Rage under, why is her name escaping me? Karlach. This was the first commander deck I ever built, actually. It gets wins sometimes. It's not terribly good, but it's better than pre-con. But that's not what we're here for. Let's build us a new deck. And you probably read the title, you know where I'm going. Saint of the Sixgun is going to be the name of the deck. Format. Commander EDH. Description. So, basic concept of this deck is that it's a burn deck. If you're familiar with Yu-Gi-Oh terminology, same thing. Basically, it's that turned up to 11. As soon as the commander hits the board, and he's a 3-cost commander, I'll show you in just a sec, you're going to start turning your little 1 pops into 3 pops, and those will pop very quickly. I can't spell. I still can't spell. So that's pretty much the basic concept of the deck. Hit him with damage over and over and over. So I'm just gonna check some wording. I'm gonna have to reload that. Almost things were complicated needlessly. Alright. I think everything's set. Alright. So this is the boring way to do things. We're going to do things the easy way. So, move that out the way. My commander is going to be from the 40k set. It is going to be, I'm going to try and pronounce this correctly, Gearson Starn Kellermorph? There we go. Yep, he's from Universes Beyond, 40k. And I have to start him in as my commander. Old-fashioned copy and paste. I need to put the phone somewhere. It's really in my way. We're going to drop that as private for now. We're going to save. Commanders required. Oh, I forgot to close it. The dumb. Alright, so this is our boy. Oh, you're supposed to blow it up for me. That's not fun. Alright. So he's the commander. He's got Ward 2, so if you try to target him with anything, it gets countered unless they pay 2 mana. And he's got the ability 3 auto stubs. Whenever another source I control deals exactly 1 damage to a permanent or player, Gearson Starn Kellermorph deals 2 additional damage to that permanent or player. So all your little like 1 cost 1 pops, they're going to be doing 3. And in a game where you get 40 life, and a lot of your creatures have less than 3 toughness, I'm going to sit here and keep triple tapping everything you play until you are dead. As you can tell, his colors are red and blue, which are the Is-It colors. And we're going to have plenty of cards in this deck that can get that 1 damage off. So we're actually going to live edit the deck. Because it looks nicer. Oh, right. What do I want to start with first? Creatures. Let's see. We're going to want some callback for our instants and sorceries. So I'm thinking our blue boy Archaeomancer. I think I spelled that right. Oh, it's an A, isn't it? A-E. I'm an idiot. Archaeomancer. When he enters the battlefield, return target instant or sorcery card from my graveyard to my hand. Not bad for 4 cost. In the deck. We're going to want to duplicate our creatures to double up their abilities, so we're going to put a good old-fashioned clone in here. I could probably just hit the plus button, can't I? Oh, okay. Yeah, clone enters the battlefield as a copy of any other creature on the battlefield, doesn't matter whose side it's on. Except for legendaries. If you duplicate a legendary, as long as it has the same name, it gets destroyed automatically. Let's see. I'm thinking electrostatic field? Is he the one? Render Wall 0/4. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery, he deals 1 to each opponent. In the deck. What's the one for every spell that's cast that deals 1 damage? Fuck, I can't remember his name. I know it's got Archer in it. There's a lot of archers. That Legless Master Archer. Use fires. Oh, got it. Firebrand. Can't spell. This guy. Yeah, whenever you cast a non-creature spell, it deals 1 damage. It's only 2 cost. In the deck. Speaking of fire, what's the shot? It's like one of my favorite D&D spell names. Immolation. Immolation Shaman. Our opponent activates an ability or an artifact, a creature or land that isn't a mana ability. Immolation deals 1 to that player. 3 tap 2, 3/2 red. Immolation Shaman gets +3/+3 and menace until end of turn. Another 2 cost. That's just like, if I've got Firebrand Archer and Immolation Shaman on the field, it does not matter what you play. You're taking 1 damage. Basically, that's the whole point. I want every card I play and every card my opponent plays to deal them damage. What's his name? Kissig? Sorry, I have a very, like, it's the fire one. Flame Breather. There we go. Human Shaman. Whenever I cast a non-creature spell, he deals 1 damage to each opponent. Also 2 cost. So basically, my little guys are just here to get off those 1 pops. Just keep triggering Gearson. And even if he's not on the field, he's got a $12 price on him. Damn. I haven't checked the pricing on any of these cards yet, by the way. A lot of these aren't bad. With the exception of Gearson, this could be a $1 deck so far. What do I want? Oh my god. I just realized an amazing synergy. Wild Mage. Forget what her name is. She's a red-blue. I think she's a human wizard. Really? Oh, there's gotta be an apostrophe in there. There it is. Near a wild mage. Can you expand it, please? There we go. Whenever you cast a spell, you may put it on the bottom of its owner's library. If you do, reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a non-land card. You may cast that card without paying its mana cost, then put the rest on the bottom of the library in a random order. This triggers only once per turn. So the first time I cast a spell, I can choose to put it, or whenever I cast a spell, I could choose to put that spell on the bottom of my deck after its effect resolves. And if I do, I reveal cards from the top of my deck until I hit something that's not a land, and I immediately cast that card. Also, I just saw this out of the corner of my eye, and I think that's awesome. I didn't know they did a Jurassic Park set. Can we go back a page, please? Fine. Wait, no, if I do that, it won't sing. Oh, it created a new page. Dumb. Anyway, in the deck, a 6 cost, so she's going to be like a late game heavy hitter. And by late game, I mean like turn 4-ish. What's the name of the dragon? There's a dragon that does like 1 damage to everything constantly. It's me something. Is it? Am I spelling these things right? Oh, it's Neve. I can't read my own handwriting. The Firemind. This bad boy. 6 cost dragon. Flying. Whenever I draw a card, he deals 1 damage to any target. And I can tap him to draw a card. So, I draw for turn, 3 damage to any target I want. I tap him, 3 more damage to that same target. Love that card art too. Oh, you know what would be hilarious? One of the goblins I used to run forever ago. Pain Distributor. I can't spell, Jesus. Oh, I just spelled it wrong. Still. Pain Distributor. Oh, he's a devil, not a goblin. Oops. Menace. Whenever a player casts their first spell each turn, they create a treasure token. Whenever an artifact an opponent controls is put into the graveyard from the battlefield, it deals 1 damage to that player. So, basically, every time someone casts their first spell on a turn, if you're in a pod, it's like 4 people, they get a treasure token. And a treasure token is worth 1 mana of any color, so you're going to want to play it. So, you sack that for your mana. It briefly goes to the graveyard before it stops existing. And that triggers his ability. So, he's going to pop you for 1. If the commander's on the board, he pops you for 3. It'll also be fun. Fire Snake? Yeah. Oh. Scalding Reaper. I literally just cataloged all my cards over the last couple days, so the names are just popping into my head. Yeah, the Elemental Snake. Whenever an opponent casts a spell with mana value 3 or less, he deals 1 damage to that player. Or I can cast this as a sorcery adventure to return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. Fun, fun. No, I don't think clone is going to be enough just by himself. Let's throw Spark Double in here too. Plus, I need some more blue representation. Yeah, you can have Spark Double enter the battlefield as a copy of a creature or planeswalker I control, except it enters with an additional +1/+1 counter. If it is a creature, it enters an additional loyalty counter on it if it's a planeswalker and it isn't legendary. Now, if I remember correctly, is Spark Double a sidestep on the legendary rule? Hold on, I'm gonna Google. Okay. Okay, it specifically says the copy isn't legendary. So the rulings that I'm reading here is that they both need to be legendary permanents with the same name. And since Spark Double doesn't become legendary when it copies a creature, it does bypass the legendary rule. So using Spark Double, unlike Clone, because Clone creates an exact duplicate, Spark Double doesn't become legendary, so he bypasses. So I could effectively Spark Double my commander, and then quickly double all that damage that I'm doing. Nice. What's his name? Spitfire or something? That's a funny one. Lagak! That's him. This whole fucking lizard. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under my control, he deals 1 damage to each opponent. A 4 cost for a 3/4, but just whenever whenever I play a land, it's just like hawking a flaming loogie at my opponent. It's great. In the time where I'm trying to think of whatever cards I got my entire collection up on my opposite screen, and I'm just scrolling through them. Let's actually reduce the scaling on that a little bit. Who else would be good? Ooh, you. Storm Splitter. Oh, I can't read now. Yeah, image scaling back up. He's one of the new guys from Boomborough, an Otter Wizard. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery, create a token that's a copy of Storm Splitter. Exile that token at the beginning of the next end step. So you can use that for like there's one card I'm going to put in here later when I'm doing sorceries and instants and stuff. It's Grape Shot. One of the most common cards in these type of damaging decks. When you play it, it clones itself for every spell that's been cast for the whole turn before you played Grape Shot. So, for all those instants, you create a duplicate of Storm Splitter. He splits, that counts as playing another spell. So, in addition to all the instants and sorceries you've already played this turn, he's going to count as double that. Alright, who else sounds good? Tandem? Tandem sounds good. 10 lookout. Solid blue human scout. It's got soul bond. You can pair this creature with another paired creature. Token either enters the... Hold on. You pair this creature with another unpaired creature when either enters the battlefield. They remain paired for as long as you control both of them. As long as Tandem Lookout is paired with another creature, each of those creatures has, whenever this creature deals damage to an opponent, draw a card. So, I put him on the board. I pair him to Gearson. Every time Gearson's ability procs, I draw a card. Or, you know, like any of these guys that proc when my opponent plays X or Y card. Oh, you know what would be funny as fuck? Make sure I'm reading this effect correctly. The Locust God. Legendary creature god, 4 blue red. Whenever you draw a card, create a 1/1 balloon red insert creature token with flying and haste. 2 red blue. Draw a card with this card. When he dies, return to its owner's hand beginning of the next next. So that is going to give us tokens with flying and haste. It's also going to give us that draw card, discard card. So there are certain cards we want to be in our grave. I'll put him in as a maybe. That's a high cost. But I'll have lots of abilities that give me draw a card. Let's see. I'm playing a lot of red in my creatures. I've got a few blues, but a lot of my blues are going to end up being like my sorceries and instances. So let's probably 2 more creatures. Sounds about right. For a total of 15, 16, 17, 18. That doesn't sound right. Anyway, Thermal Alchemist. Sounds like a good one. Spelled that wrong. I spelled that very wrong. Yeah, Defender. Thermal Alchemist deals 1 damage to each opponent for tapping. When you cast an instant or sorcery spell, you untap him. Young Pyromancer. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery, create a 1/1 red elemental creature token. So you know what? Alright, so let's save. So I haven't saved in a minute. I could have swore I had more creatures than that. Alright, let's add in some more. Coruscation Mage? I hope I spelled that right. Hey. Well, Otter Wizard. Offspring 2. If you pay an additional 2, you cast him for a total of 3 red, or 3/1 red. This creature enters, you create a 1/1 token copy of it. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, this creature deals 1 damage to each opponent. Oh yeah, I gotta remember that Gearson isn't actually in my main deck. Okay, we're still only at 18 creatures. Ooh, I know who I want in here. Good old Gel Boy. Gelectrode. He's a weird. You tap him, he deals 1 damage to any target. If you cast an instant or sorcery, you can untap him. So, tap him, he deals the damage. You cast an instant or a sorcery, you untap him. You tap him, deal the damage again. So that puts us at 19. What's his name? I think he's got a similar effect to Thermo Alchemist and Gelectrode. He's a fucking sandworm. What's his name? Tunnel. Tunneling GOP. There it is. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under my control, he deals 1 damage. Oh. Good solid 20 creatures to round out the deck. Right now I'm leaning very heavy on the red side. But red is where my damage is coming from, so what can I say? Alright. We'll hold off on lands until we got more other creatures. Guess let's do enchants next. Filter that. Okay. Back to live deck. First one's actually a really easy and fun one. Where are you? Not here. Don't really make me type in the whole name. Thank you. Ether Sting. 3/1 red. Whenever one of your opponent plays a 1 creature spell, Ether Sting. Whenever your opponent plays a creature spell, Ether Sting deals 1 damage to that player. Sweet, simple, exactly what we're looking for. That's a pretty old school card at that. I wonder what the price on that is. You gonna show me? 52 cents. It's not bad. I'm gonna need more draw power, so curiosity. Enchant creature. Whenever enchant creature deals damage to an opponent, draw a card. What else do I need? I don't think I really have a lot of enchantments that I want. Oh. I'm gonna be evil. I'm gonna be very, very evil. So, I hope I never have to play this deck against a green player, because he will probably hate me. Because, I'm putting mana barbs in. Mana barbs, good old 3/1 red, enchantment. Whenever a player taps a land for mana, mana barb deals 1 damage to that player. So that's whenever a player taps a land. That language specifically means whenever a land is tapped, so say you play a 3-cost creature, that's 3 land that was just tapped. You take 3 damage. If Gearson's on the field, you take 9 damage. What else? That's something I. No, I is the last word. Come on. O-P-H. Ah, right there. Ophidian Eye. Enchant creature. Enchant creature deals damage to an opponent. You draw a card. You're sensing a theme here. Basically, I'm going to keep doing damage, which is going to allow me to keep drawing into more cards, which is going to allow me to keep doing more damage. You know, being even more evil. Repercussion. Yeah. Repercussion. When a creature is dealt damage, Repercussion deals that much damage to that creature's controller. So let's say... find one of these that actually does damage to a card. These ones are all to opponent. Okay, so like, Need Mizet. Using his ability. He pops off. I choose to deal. I draw for my turn. He deals 1 damage to my opponent. Commander makes it 3. Or not to my opponent, to a creature on my opponent's side of the field. Commander makes it 3. Actually, even added to that. Repercussion will then also deal 3 damage to the player. Then I tap Need Mizet. I draw again. Since I drew, my opponent takes deal 3 damage to a target again, being another creature. Repercussion is going to deal another 3 damage to the opponent. Basically, everything's going to do damage. It's all going to hurt, and it's going to be awesome. Pretty much, I want my opponent to not be able to play any cards without taking some kind of damage. Yeah, that sounds good, actually. Roiling Vortex. Yeah, that guy. Fun. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, it deals 1 damage to them. When they cast a spell, if no mana was spent to cast that spell, it deals 5 damage to that player. Tap for 1 red, your opponent can't gain life this turn. So that's just going to be like, you're taking damage every upkeep. Granted, it will also be dealing that 1 damage to me. And Gearson will also make it 3 against me, because it doesn't specify that it's your opponent that takes damage. So it's kind of a double-edged sword. But I still like it. What else do I gotta read? Oh, yeah. The 1,000-Year Storm. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery, copy it for each other instant and sorcery spell you've cast before it this turn. You may choose new targets for the copies. So my little 1-pops that are dealing damage, I could just copy them for every card I've played this turn. Whew. The enchants are we at? You're at 7. You know what? Let's make it 1 more. Because you know what stops people from wanting to harm the good old-fashioned blue player? Good old-fashioned propaganda. Because my creatures are not going to be defending me very well. So I have to make ways for them to defend themselves. So propaganda makes creatures unable to attack me unless their owner pays 2 mana for each creature they control that's attacking me, which will severely limit the amount of attacks my opponent's going to throw at me because they don't want to burn all their mana and be unable to defend themselves. Man, I love nice even numbers. Oh. Let's see. Instants or sorceries? Which one do I want first? Actually, you know what? Let's do artifacts next. Obviously, we gotta have the Arcane Signet. Creates 1 mana of any color in my commander's identity. Ooh, that could work. Bandits. Bandits Hall. Whenever I commit a crime, I put a loot counter on Bandits Hall. This ability triggers only once per turn. Targeting opponents, anything they control, or cards in their graveyards is a crime. Tap to add 1 mana of any color. Pay 2 and tap to remove 2 loot counters from Bandits Hall and draw a card. So I could play it as a mana rock, or I can, every time I'm hitting someone for damage, that counts as crime, just be stacking loot counters on it. Would that be good, though? Let me read its card text. Oh, yeah, that would definitely work. Cryptolith. I think I spelled that right. No, I forgot the T. Cryptolith Fragment. Enter spell taps. You can tap 1 mana of any color to your mana pool, and then each player loses 1 life. At the beginning of your upkeep, if each player has 10 or less life, you can transform it. And it will transform into the Aurora of Emrakul. Wonderful creature. Eldrazi Reflection with Flying Death Touch. Whenever it attacks, the opponent automatically loses 3 life. Fun. That can go in there somewhere? Okay. Fire Diamond. For that 1 extra fire, although it is tapped. It's red-blue Is It deck, so we might as well put the Is It Signet in it. Feature blue is pay 1. Yeah, pay 1, tap for red and blue. Nice. Ooh. Did that proc the way I think it does? I think it does. If I'm wrong and you're watching this, let me know in the comments. But, Rings of Brighthearth? Whenever you activate an ability, if it isn't in a mana ability, you can pay 2, and if you copy that. So if I've got this on the board, and a mana ability is defined as any card ability that doesn't create mana. So like, I couldn't do it on Instant Signet or Fire Diamond because they both create mana. But it has to be an activated ability. Right? And it just says copy the ability, not the creature. Copy the ability. So I could double tap with Gearson. There's like a lot I could do with that. Just to be able to play any card in my deck multiple times. So I was like, oh my god, I could spam use that with Mira, because that's an activated ability. Ooh. Can you imagine just spam summon effects like that? I just like, I get to play one, it goes to the bottom of my deck. I get to play another one, it goes to the bottom of my deck. I copy both of those. Ooh, that could be That could be a big chain card right there, where I'm just playing a bunch of shit all at once. We got the Fire Diamond in here. Let's get the Sky Diamond too, because that's only fair. Pretty much just the water version. Gotta have Soul Ring, because this is Commander. A million different card arts, I don't really care which one. We got some creatures with tap abilities I'm going to want to activate on their first turn. So let's get the Swiftfoot. Oh, you know what'd be fun? Good old Wand of Wonder from the D&D set. Roll a d20. Not your spin down die. Those aren't balanced. Each opponent exiles cards from the top of their library until they exile an instant or a sorcery card, then shuffles the rest into their library. You may cast up to X instant and or sorcery cards from among cards exiled this way without paying their mana cost. So, in a one-on-one game, it'd just be the one. So, whatever I roll on the d20 determines how many I get to use. So, no matter what, if I'm playing a one-on-one game or a big pod, a one-on-one game, X will always be 1. So, pretty much, they're going to turn XL cards from their deck. The first instant or sorcery they pull, I immediately cast for free. Swiftfoot get in there? That's right there. Let's save our progress. We're at 10 artifacts. Yeah, we're very heavy on the 2 costs here. I'm going to take a quick bio break. I'll be back in just a moment. Oh. Let's get right back to it. There's one planeswalker I'd like to have in here. Chandra. Yeah, Awakened Inferno. There's a lot of different versions of Chandra. Awakened Inferno is the one I want. So, first of all, she can't be countered. You can bring her loyalty up 2. Each opponent gets an emblem with, at the beginning of their upkeep, this emblem deals 1 damage to you. You can drop loyalty 3. She deals 3 damage to each non-elemental creature, which includes your own. Or negative X. She deals X damage to target creature or planeswalker. If a permanent dealt damage to this way would die this turn, exile it instead. So, I can drop her loyalty 1 to immediately proc my commander. Plus, you know, the +2 thing. It's just going to be hitting them for 1 damage every upkeep. Plus, that card looks sick as fuck. Let's go instance. Well, this one's from Bloomburrow. I've had this one played against me, and it's annoying. An offer you can't refuse. Counter non-target creature spell. Its controller creates 2 treasure tokens. It's like, yeah, for 1 blue, your spell doesn't work, and you get 2 mana back. Have fun with that. Hope you weren't casting anything big. Brainstorm? Brainstorm. You gotta keep that draw cycle going. Draw 3 cards, put 2 cards from your hand on top of your library in any order. Basically, scry on steroids. Of course, we have to have counterspell. Because what's a blue deck without counterspell? Weak. It's weak. What trickery? Yeah. Deals 1 damage to target creature I don't control. I can overload it for 1 to change it. Replace all instances of target with each. So, for a total of 1 plus 2 red, I could pop all of your creatures for 1. If Gearson is on the field, I pop them all for 3. There's another similar one. Electrolyze. Yeah, electrolyze for the cost of 1 blue red. You deal 2 damage, divide it as you choose among 1 or 2 targets. And then draw a card. Fading Hope. There's, you know, for 1, return target creature to its owner's hand. If its value was 3 or less, scry 1. That's mostly just to get big dudes off the field for cheap. You can imagine if I just pop your commander back to your hand for the low cost of 1. we got the Is It Signet in here. We might as well have the Is It Charm, too. Choose one. Counter target non-creature spell unless its owner pays 2. Or, Is It Charm deals 2 damage to target creature. Or, 2 cards, then discard 2. We need more deck play. Meeting of the Minds. Oh, it's just Meeting of Minds. Convoke. Draw 2 cards. And what's cool is I could convoke this using cards that are like, fun random example. Yeah, Thermal Alchemist. I could use him as one of its convoke costs, but because I also just cast an instant, he just immediately untaps again. It did go into the deck, right? Yeah. We're getting there, we're getting there. Let's go old school, memory lapse. Or as I like to call it, nuh-uh. Nuh-uh, didn't happen. Counter target spell. If this spell is countered this way, put it on top of its owner library instead of into that player's graveyard. Just, nuh-uh, didn't happen. Gaslighting the card. More counters. Negate. Negate's a good one. I can't spell still. Just 2 cost. 1 and 1 blue. Counter target non-creature spell. Now this one's a favorite. Another counter spell. Rewind. Counter target spell. Untap up to 4 lands. You'll notice it also costs 4 mana to play. So I pay the mana for it. I counter your spell. I untap those same 4 mana. I think it might be about set for instance. Most of my instants were pretty much just counter spells. And draw you stuff. Which I like. It works for the deck. 10 instants. I forgot to put rewind in. talked about it, and then I just didn't put it in. I know we're an odd number again. That bothers me. You know what? Why the fuck not? Mystical Tutor. That was dispute. I wanted Tutor. For the low cost of 1, I can search my library for instant or sorcery, reveal it, and put it on top of my deck. Oh, 12 instants. It's pretty solid. Forget the hydrate. Alright. All that's left are my sorceries and my land. Alright, sorceries where more of the damage is going to come in. So let's start with classic. Blazing Volley. Blazing Volley deals 1 damage to each creature your opponent controls. Plain and simple. But yeah, I don't think I need to explain how this pops off. So, I throw this. Gearson's Stern makes it 3 damage to every creature my opponent controls. And if I've got, I don't know, Rings of Brighthearth down, that ability procs again. So, with a low cost of 1 plus 2 for Brighthearth, that's 6 damage to every creature on my board, on my opponent's board. And, you know, I could have Thousand Year Storm out, which will, cast it again. I could have, Nira out to give me more stuff and copy it again. Repercussion, so all that damage is not only dealt to his creatures, but also straight to him. Imagine he just got like 5 creatures out. Let's say 5. They all take 9 damage from that combination. So that's 5 creatures, all take 9 damage. Odds are they're all dead. Then, that 45 damage gets duplicated from Repercussion straight to my opponent. That's game. Because I had 2 enchantments on the field. My commander. And I played a sorcery. A 1-cost sorcery. Alright, what else sounds like fun in this list? This one's kind of cute, actually. End the festivities. End festivity deals 1 damage to each opponent and each creature and planeswalker they control. So, same vein. Faithless Mood is for 4 draw. Draw 2 cards and discard 2. Flashback it. So it definitely needs some draw. I can't forget the Great Wizard spell. Fireball! That I spelled wrong. Spell costs 1 more to cast for each target beyond the first. Deals X damage divided evenly, rounded down, among any number of targets. So I'll always deal even damage to targets. So if I pay 1 mana for every creature my opponent has, they all take 1. You following me? Same concept, more mana. Flame Fusillade, that's another good one. Till end of turn, permanents you control gain tap. This permanent deals 1 damage to target creature or player. Imagine if that's the first card I play in a turn. And, I've got plenty of other mana on the board. Permanents I control gain this. I could tap every mana I have and every creature I have. To just keep hitting those 1 pops, hitting those 3 pops if Gearson's on the board. I mentioned earlier Grape Shot. That's a fun one. Grape Shot deals 1 damage to target creature or player. Storm. When you catch this spell, copy it for each spell cast before it this turn. You can choose new targets for the copies. So, let's say I had a good turn. I played a bunch of my little 1-cost guys here and gotten some stuff off, but I still got 2 extra mana to burn. For every one of those abilities that resolves, it fires again. So, Gearson's duplicating it over and over and over. We need more deck manipulation, so Index is a pretty good one. Let's rearrange the top 5, if I remember correctly. Yeah, look at the top 5 cards in your library, put them back in any order. Solid card. That could work. Light up the stage. Spectacle, 1 red. You can cast this spell for its spectacle cost rather than its mana cost. If an opponent lost life this turn, which will happen every turn, exile the top 2 cards of your library until the next turn. I can play those. So I can get off like quick little shots if I want, or just get rid of 2 cards that won't help me. Yeah, that'll work. Good old playful shove from the Bloomburrow set. Deals 1 damage to any target, you draw a card. Perfect for what I'm going for here. Ponder is a good one. No, I don't want to ponder my orbs. Want to ponder the moon. The top 2 cards of your library, put them back in any order. Shuffle. It says you may shuffle. I don't have to. I may. Deck's getting there. Preordained is another good one. Scry 2, draw a card. Another cheap 1 cost. The point of a lot of these cards, these 1 cost manipulate my deck cards, is so I could set up things like an easy grape shot for a lot of damage. Tectonic Hazard. Jesus, I can't spell today. Deals 1 damage to each opponent and each creature they control. For the low cost of 1 again. Tormenting Voice. It's additional cost to cast this spell, discard card. Draw 2. Again, grave manipulation and getting more cards into my hand. What else? Vandal Blast? Destroy target artifact you don't control. Overlord for red. Cast for its Overlord cost 4. Destroy each. 1. Alright, so that puts us at 14 sorceries. Alright. Let's select his lands. Alright, Cascade Bluffs. Simple red-blue. I can tap it to add colorless, or I can pay a red-blue to tap it for 2 in any combination. Cliffgate. Next battlefield tap is the next battlefield. Choose color other than red. Obviously, we choose blue. You can tap it for either of them. I'm also going to put Seagate in here too. That one's spaced. Same thing, but in reverse. Oh, sorry, I was reading a bunch of the double color ones. It's commander, so you gotta have command tower. That's an interesting command tower. Eroded Canyon is a good one. Enters tapped. When it enters, it deals 1 damage. It's kind of in a stretch, but Exotic Orchard. Adds a mana of any color an opponent controls will produce. Oh, I didn't put either of those last two actually in the deck. Oops. Hidden Grotto. When it enters, you can surveil 1. And you can tap it for colorless, or tap it 1 and kind of any color. Is it Boiler Works? Is another good one. If I could spell, that'd be awesome. Enters tapped. When it enters battlefield, return a land I control to my owner's hand, and it taps for red-blue. populated landscape, I guess. Just pay 2 and sack it for 2 basic lands. Mystic Sanctuary. Adds a blue. Enters the battlefield tapped unless you control 3 more other islands. Enters the battlefield untapped. You can put target instant or sorcery card from your graveyard on top of your library. Clear that up. The Reflecting Pool is a good one. Add 1 mana of any type that a land I control could produce. Pretty much the exact opposite of Exotic Orchard. Reliquary Tower. No maximum hand size, add 1 colorless. The max hand size is pretty much the reason for that. Alright. Ooh, there we go. Sheevan Gorge. You can add a colorless or pay 2 red, 2 and red, tap to deal 1 damage to each opponent. So, a land that can proc my commander. Stormcroft Coast. Another basic red blue. There's tapped lets it control 2 other lands. The Sulfur Folds. I still can't spell. There's tapped, unless you control an island or a mountain, taps for red or blue. The Temple of Epiphany. Oh, I spelled that right. Yay. And there's tapped, scry 1, or add a blue or red. I want to add it right. Yeah. Volatile Fjord. I spelled volatile wrong, didn't I? God damn it. Add red or blue, enters tapped. Alright, let's see. It looks nice. Now I just have to add in my basic lands. Alrighty. Shit. 97% casual, 3% competitive. Oh, and we'll just use the regular edit function to add in the islands and mountains because I'm lazy and I'm not doing it 6 times. Well, can't more than 6, obviously. So, Island. Let's add 8. 8 sounds good. Mountain. The remaining. If I did my math correctly. That's all 100. And so here is our deck. Let's see. Oh, isn't that pretty? Alright, let's run a playtest. Alright, this is not a great, not a great starting hand. Alright, so I open Cliffgate, pass turn. It is kind of annoying that it doesn't give you like an opposition. Alright, so I do Reflecting Pool, because this counts as both a red and blue. Reflecting Pool can also count as a red blue. I'd tap 2 for Immolation Shaman. So he's going to be dealing constant ability damage. Next turn, I pull the mountain. So I got 3 mana on the board. I tap 3 for Propaganda. I don't like the way this works because it doesn't give me enough room for the way I set my board normally. And then I pass turn. Hold an island. At this point, Storm Splitter is probably a good idea. Actually, no, tap 1. Play Preordain. So I get the Scry. I don't think this has a function for scrying. So I'd probably put Spitfire back. And then I'd pass turn. I'd draw that Spitfire. I'd tap it all. Storm Splitter. At this point, I've got 2 different damage sources on the board. We're 4 turns in. Next turn, I can play Electrolyze if they've got something I want to get rid of. Of course, Electrolyze would chain off of Storm Splitter. So I get a copy of Storm Splitter for this turn. I tap 3 for Commander at this point. And then it's just a matter of how much damage I want to deal. I throw Meeting of the Minds. I use all 3 to convoke, plus a blue. I draw 2 cards. Mountain for turn. I still got 4 mana up, so let's get Spitfire Lagak. Next turn, Myriad Landscape. Lagak would cause my opponent to take 3. I'd pay 2. Firebrand Archer. At this point, my opponent's probably got something I want to get rid of. So I could pay blue. Fading Hope. I just cast a non-creature spell. My opponent takes 3. I cast an instant spell. I get another Storm Splitter. And assuming it's 3 or less, I scry 1. Keep that on the top of the deck. Next turn, I play Reliquary Tower. At this point, it's just my opponent's. I'm just gonna get slapped in the chicklets. I discard Electrolyzed, play Tormenting Voice. I just cast the sorcery. So, Firebrand Archer deals another 3 damage. I draw 2 cards. I tap 2. Electrostatic Field. I'm just constantly smacking with damage over and over again. By now, they're like less than 10. And Fireball. I can burn all this mana on 1 Fireball and just clear their fucking board. And that'd be game. That's 10 turns on a very long run. Oh, there's a tutor card button. Oh, they added new stuff since last time I used this. But yeah, very easy to get the cards you need out quickly. So you just start popping that little bits of damage that are going to be doing your big damage. So yeah, that is the deck done. So as always, thank you for joining me. A very pleasant rest of your day. May fortune favor you.